What's up? What's up? It's your boy Corey B. So it is now 2021, and I have yet to make any new post yet. To ring in the new year, I couldn't really see what I should post, and like, there's a lot of things I thought about, and things that have, there's always stuff going through my mind, and there's things that weigh on us, and at the end of the day, there's just 2020 was a challenging year. It was absolutely challenging for so many reasons on so many levels, and I just feel like there was a lot of people who really tried to make the best out of a situation. You know, things were tough. There was facing a pandemic, facing political unrest in our nation, just going into that election, and all the turmoil that was just spanning through our society based on different people's opinions about the racism and the Black Lives Matter movement, the the upcoming election, the different policies that are going on, the idea of the stimulus and the bailouts, and you know um, the list truly goes on and on and on. I mean, people literally fought over masks. I mean, it the pandemic has literally brought out both the best and worst in everybody. Um, I've witnessed people just breaking their back for their neighbor, for their friend, for their brother, their cousin, their whoever. I've watched people just willing to go extreme lengths to continue to promote each other's business and find each other resources and help each other get food. There was so many people, that brought things to our house when me and Kimberly and the boys, we all got sick. We all got COVID, and when we were all sick and we were just trying to, when initially I'd gotten sick, and when I was sick for like the first 4 days before Kimberly got it, like I was supposed to quarantine, and any of y'all who have kids, quarantining from your children is a challenge in itself. But then 4 days later, when Kimberly got it and she had to quarantine from the kids too, it was like, well, how do we feed them? How do we do this? And Corey and Colton are amazing, and I mean, God is good. God, like, truly just helped us, and all our friends, our family, so many people just stepped up and brought things to our house, brought things that were easy to prep real quick, or that Corey could put together, because Corey stepped up hard. I mean, my man is turning 6 in my man is turning 7 in a little over a week. So this past summer, I mean, he's 6.5, and he was just like, oh, don't worry, I'll take care of lunch. Don't worry, I can get breakfast, and I can help Colton get into, shower, or I can help Colton, and Colton's 5.5. He's only a year younger, but I mean, Corey just stepped up and wanted to take care of his brother. And they would both tell me, well, hey, Dad, if you go in the kitchen and turn on the stove, I can make eggs. And they would literally or turn on the stove, man. I'm sorry, man. My head ain't right. But if I'd turn on the stove, they'd go cook eggs. So it's like, but I before I could do anything, I had to like put my mask on. I had to glove up. I mean, I couldn't touch or breathe on anything that they were going to have or that they were going to touch, because I was contagious. I had COVID. And Kimberly had to do the same thing, and it was just such a trying time. And like I said, so many people stepped up, and we're just like, what can we do? What can we do? How can we help? Like I said, I watched so many people suffer through this last year. I've watched people suffer through their jobs. I've watched people suffer because they got sick. I've watched people suffer with their finances or their unsettled anxiety of not knowing what's next. And so many people reached out to them and tried to comfort them and tried to pick them up and tried to carry them through and say, like, look, this is what we're going to do together. We're going to get through this. This is how we're going to make things happen. while there was so many others that just took every opportunity to break people down. People attacked people for their race. People attacked people for their job. Like, oh, well, you have this job, you know. And it's like people attack people for their political stances. People, and all these things people would say, they would justify attacking one another, saying, well, what they're doing is so bad that I can attack them. It's like we became a nation broken and a nation lost. It's hard for me to wrap my head around it because, you know, I've always been somebody who, you know, I've tried to, I don't know, man, I've tried to keep my mind, like, and be like a realist in the fact that, yeah, we're humans and we all screw up and we all are inherently selfish, but, you know, I try to also believe in the good in people. Like everybody can't be that bad, can they? And it's like, it's gotten to the point that I couldn't stand getting on social media. I couldn't stand getting on Facebook and seeing that these are my friends. These are my family members. These are people that I've rode with for the last 10, 20 years. And these are the things they're saying. I watched people that I used to sit in a pew with attack their friends, attack their families, and like I said, it's brought out the best and it's brought out the worst. People couldn't handle it, couldn't handle all the uncertainty. They couldn't handle the ugliness in the world, so they added to the ugliness. Adding to the ugliness doesn't fix it. You don't cure hate with hate. You don't. And I can agree with, you know, some of y'all on some aspect that, oh, well, what this person was doing or that person was doing or what was happening over here was such a horrific thing that something must be done, but hate isn't the thing that must be done. Hate's not it. What they're doing is hate. You don't cure that hate with more hate. We've got to find a way as a nation, as a people, as a society, man, even on a smaller aspect, we gotta find a way amongst our neighbors, amongst our families. If we can't figure a way to look past our differences with our own brother, our own sister, our own next door neighbor, you know, how are we gonna look past it with a perfect stranger who's doing something we despise? How do we get to the point that we can look past the fact that we feel differently and cure the hate? That's what it is. I mean, that's it in a nutshell. You know, I didn't even know what I was really going to talk about when I started this video. As I said, I've had so much on my mind, and I've kind of just wanted to... I've been wanting to post something. I've been wanting to post something. I've been wanting to say something, but I couldn't wrap my head around what to say and where to get started. And, you know, I kind of just... It hit me that I just got to talk. I just got to get it out there. And I've just got to get some of this off my chest and see where it goes. And I mean, I think that's where I'm at right now. It's just, I'm just kind of unloading a little bit and gonna see where these things that are inside me, if I can unpack them a bit and see where it's all gonna go. Like I said, amidst this whole thing, we've watched families and friends. We've watched people sick and hurt. We've watched we've lost family members. We've lost friends. We have friends who have lost family members. Some to COVID, some to other things. Some of it's just life, and that's just what happens. These things happen. God says there's a time for each one of us, and it was written long before we were here. But when you're in these trying times, sometimes it just hurts a little more. There's this phrase that's been thrown around so much since May. I've been listening to people say this, and for a while it kept itching me wrong, and then now I don't think. See, it used to. Okay, so the phrase that's been thrown around is that let's get back to normal. Let's get back to normal. And see, okay, so the reason it itched me wrong at first, because, see, throughout this whole thing, I kept seeing an opportunity for growth. Let's grow, let's develop as a person, as an individual, as a family, as a nation. I've been trying to really focus some time with Kimberly and with our boys and, really try to develop. I've tried to plant seeds into my daughter and her husband and try to help them view life in a new direction and not see this time as a time of brokenness, but a time of growth. We walk through it with our church family, our congregation. We walk through this whole thing where we lost the ability to gather, and there was a breakfast among that our pastor and 60 other pastors across Austin gathered together for breakfast. And as they met together and they discussed, and pastor came back to us, and as he met with us and was discussing this with the church and stuff, and he was talking about the new direction that we were going to take, as we were well, what are we going to do? We can't gather anymore. We were trying to not me at the time. I wasn't an integral part of making that happen. So I don't want to take credit for what they were doing. What they did was just amazing. But they were literally pulling off streaming right from their living room, which was incredible. I mean, they were putting on worship right in their living room and just streaming it to our church family, streaming it to anybody else who we literally gained new church members from around the country and stuff that began watching during this pandemic. And still right now, they continue to gather every single Sunday. They get on there. Michigan, Arizona, New Mexico. It's just that's God. That's God moving right there. But when he came back and he sat down with us and he was talking with us, and we had a Zoom meeting amongst a lot of the it's our dream team. It's a lot of our volunteers who help with the church and help keep the church going. And when we all met together on Zoom and we're discussing things, he said, we got to stop trying to run to a building and let's run to God. And that's it. I mean, so during this whole time, that's the way I saw things. It's this is a time of growth. I've got to run to Kimberly. I've got to run to God. I've got to run to my boys. I've got to, throughout this whole thing, me and my boy David, Garrett, my brother Jason. I mean, there's been people who I don't get to see like I did before, and I miss my family, I miss my friends, my connections. But we're growing. We're actually literally growing on a deeper level. It's really cool. Me and Garrett have bonded in a new way, and me and David have been friends since we were 12, 11, something. I don't know. And David, all these years, we go through times where we won't talk for a while, and we'll just call each other up, and it's we haven't, it's no time has passed. There's just this bond and this connection that we have, and it's great. But throughout this pandemic, all of a sudden, we were calling each other more regularly. And I didn't ask him to. He didn't ask me to. It just kind of happened through that need and that desire to have more connection and to not lose what we had, all of a sudden it was just organically happening. It was just without our own effort. I mean, I picked up the phone and called him, but it's like I planned it out or anything. It's truly amazing the things that were able to happen, and that was my focus. So my focus was like, let's not get back to normal. I mean, of course, I want the pandemic to go away. I don't want to worry about this virus anymore. I want to be able to hang out with my friends and my family, not wear a mask every single second. I'm not excited about the mask. I am very 100% pro-mask. Put your mask on and stop making a stink about it. Just mask up already. But it isn't fun. It's not like, oh yeah, I get to wear a mask. No, I just make the best out of it. I'm trying to protect my family. I'm trying to protect you guys. Kimberly's a nurse. And she deals with COVID on a daily basis. And I've suffered through COVID. I mean, and I don't wish that on anybody. So I'm masking up every single time, no matter where I'm going, no matter what I'm doing, I'm putting that mask on. I drop my kids off to school, and I don't even get out of the car. It's like this whole thing. They walk up to the car, I roll down the window, they check their temperatures, then they let them out, help them out with their backpack. I don't even remove myself. I'm not allowed to remove myself from the front seat of the car. But I have a mask on because she kind of leans through my window to scan there, and I mask up, man. Mask up. Because I'm being considerate and courteous of her just as much as she is of me. But it's not fun. It's not fun to wear a mask every time. I've had to trim my beard down. I was growing that mess. I was looking pretty cool, I thought, but I had to trim it down because kinked my beard all up every day. But the reality is that I do want these things to go away. But I kept saying I don't want to go back to normal. I want to go back to better. That's where my head was at. I want better. I want more. I want, when this is all over, us can look back and say, this was not a time that broke us. This was a time that made us. This was a time that, we lost loved ones, we lost friends, we lost family, but we survived, and not just survived, but we thrived. That's what I want, and that's what I kept thinking. And all this is kind of going on and on and on and on and on and on. These things happen. I mean, yeah, it's the first pandemic of most of our generations. But life happens. Wars happen. Pandemics happen. Viruses happen. Ugliness in the world happens. All of these things happen. Now 2020, I will say there was a lot of it. There was a whole lot of it. But these things happen. And I think the normalcy that we need, I think it needs to be a normal practice that we respond to the ugliness with love. We respond to the challenges, the trials, the tribulations, the things we face every single day, all the opposition, the walls that we confront on a regular basis, that we hit them head on with love and compassion, dedication to one another, dedication to rising up, dedication to doing the best that we can possibly do and giving all we've got. Not being broken by whatever it is. This pandemic isn't the first time somebody lost a job. It's not the first time somebody's been on unemployment. Not the first time a family member died. It's not the first time that we had political controversy in our nation. It pains me to say it. It's not the first time we've had racism in this nation either. 2020 was a rough year. 2020 is not to blame. We are. The citizens. Every last one of us. I mean, some of us have tried, but are we really doing the best we can? Have we taken a step outside our own comfort zone to show love, to show compassion, to try to respond to hate with love and mercy, and redirect that hate into better place? Or have we attacked it with more hate? Have we just belittled it and said people are stupid? Yeah, people are doing stupid things. Have you ever done anything stupid? You ever done anything you regret? You ever done anything you shouldn't have done? Maybe it wasn't racist. Maybe it wasn't hatred towards your neighbor. Maybe you didn't mess up a public policy. But I'm sure you messed up something. You just might not have been in that position to mess up something that was a public policy. Maybe you never felt any kind of racism. Good. You shouldn't. I'm sure you've done something else you're ashamed of. I'm sure you've done something else to regret. I'm sure you've done something else that was wrong. And I'm sure that whatever you've done, you can turn to someone else and say, hey, I've done something wrong, and so have you. Let's move forward and better ourselves. Let's stop being hateful, ugly people. Let's stop blaming the left side. Let's stop blaming the right side. Let's stop blaming the rich. Let's stop blaming the poor. Let's stop blaming any kind of religion, race, creed. We're all people. We all screw up. We're all going to make mistakes. We're all going to get it wrong. Maybe some of the things that people have gotten wrong are worse than the things that others have gotten wrong. But we all get it wrong. Let's try getting it right. There was a sermon that my pastor preached, I don't know, I think it was probably about 2 months ago. And it really stuck with me. He said if we really want to make a difference, at least this was one of the key points that really stuck with me, was if we really want to make a difference, let's worry about today, getting today right. There's a great scripture, and I can't think of it off the top of my head. I'll actually reference it later, maybe in the comments, so y'all can check it out. There was, just talked about the idea that, you know, we're not supposed to focus on worrying. We're not supposed to worry is a sin, and we're not supposed to focus on worrying. We're supposed to trust in God. Like, there's enough problems for today. Let's not worry about tomorrow. And if we can take all of our efforts and our time and focus on getting today right, let's win today. Let's win today. Tomorrow we'll win tomorrow. Let's not stress over tomorrow right now. Stop focusing on tomorrow. Let's win today. So that's what I want y'all to take away. Let's win today. Whatever it is that you're about to do today, whatever it is, you know, just take it one step at a time. Let's try not to do anything ugly. Some people it's easier than others. Let's try not to do anything ugly. Let's try not to say anything, make any actions that are hurtful. Let's try showing some compassion to those who we find fault in. Not just showing them compassion by like looking the other way and saying, oh, it's okay that they're doing wrong. No, but like reaching out to them and trying to redirect their actions. Like, hey, why do you feel this way? Why are you behaving this way? Why are you acting this way? Let me show you Jesus' love, you know? That's it. Alright. I want y'all to just marinate on that a bit. I'm going to get back to it. I'm going to get back to the grind, and I'm going to start hitting y'all with some more content. I'm going to try to get you something else posted tomorrow. For today, I just want y'all to marinate on that a little bit. It was, just think about it. Let's do better. And let's win today. So whatever y'all do, go out, get it done, win today. I'm your boy, Corey B. We'll see y'all next time. Y'all be sure to hit that like, hit the subscribe button. Stay tuned. I got a lot more stuff coming for y'all. Check me out on beingcoreybayless.com. Till next time, I'm out.